appreciate them so much. They don't know how much they give. They don't get the minutes at times, but they just what they bring and the energy is just awesome. Caitlin is, I won't tell her this, but I'm sure she'll hear it, but she's really a funny person. Just really proud of these players for what they've done, the work they've put in, the resiliency they've shown. It's just to get that number, and again, with Kelsey Mitchell, who's never experienced that. Just gotta make sure we're, Kelsey and Caitlin just couldn't get loose the other night from their defenders.
6 technicals, 1 game away from suspension. Is Caitlin Clark's fiery spirit helping or hurting the Fever? We're diving into the ripple effects of Clark's technicals on her team, her rookie season, and the whole WNBA. Trust me, it's not as simple as you think. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Picture this, Clark's on the court against the Aces. The game's intense. Suddenly, a foul call doesn't go her way. What does she do? She slaps the stanchion hard. The ref's whistle blows. Technical foul number 6. Just like that, Clark's on thin ice. You know what's crazy? That's only 1 technical away from a suspension. For Clark and the Fever, that's huge. We're talking about their star rookie potentially missing a game as they're fighting for a playoff spot. That's insane, right? So here's the big question. Is Clark's passion pushing the Fever forward or holding them back? Let's break it down and see what's really going on with Clark's technicals and how they're shaking up the WNBA. You know what's wild? Clark's technicals aren't just about her. They're like a stone thrown in a pond, causing ripples that affect the entire Fever team. How deep do these ripples go? And could they sink Indiana's playoff hopes? Let's break it down. First up, team strategy. Every time Clark gets close to that suspension line, the coaches have to adjust. Imagine your coach sides. You've got your star rookie lighting up the court, but she's 1 tech away from sitting out a game.
They all know what's at stake, with Caitlin, and they know, she's doing incredible things. I mean, she's now, the highest point scorer rookie ever. Yeah, I think it's just once you build relationships with people and get comfortable, it just kind of changes, how you interact daily, and I really think that that's had a huge play in how we've played on the court. And these guys know, that's her passion, that's her fire.
What do? You might have to change your rotations, keep her off the court in heated moments, or even call different plays. It's like playing chess, but your queen is constantly in check. And let's talk money. These technicals aren't just costing Clark emotions, they're hitting her wallet too. The WNBA's got a whole price list for these things. First 3 techs, that's $200 each. Next 3, now we're talking $400 a pop. And if Clark hits that 7th tech, boom, $800 and a 1-game vacation she definitely doesn't want. Add it all up, and we're looking at a potential $1,800 fine. That's a lot of cash for showing some passion on the court, but here's where it gets really interesting. These technicals can flip a game faster than you can say bad call. Picture this. Fever's up by 5 in the 4th quarter. Clark's been killing it all game. Suddenly, she gets called for a foul she doesn't agree with. She slaps the stanchion, and bam, technical foul. Free throw for the other team, they get the ball, and now the momentum's shifted. That fire that makes Clark amazing, it just lit up the other team instead. And don't forget about team morale. When your star player is constantly on edge, it affects everyone. The rest of the Fever squad has to be thinking, is this the game where we lose Clark? That kind of stress can mess with your head, your game, your everything. Think Clark's the only one frustrated?
Obviously, I don't know her too well, coming into sleep and just being a rookie, and she's obviously been asleep. It's been fun to see. I think she's just been able to expand her game even more and more, whether it's the mid-range, whether it's threes, whether it's off the dribble. She was really good at Ohio State, so I'm pretty familiar with her game and what she's about, and I think she's had a really good year.
Wait till you hear what's going on behind the scenes. This rookie sensation's been lighting up the court, but her fiery spirit's causing some serious heat off it too. Let's break down this clash between Clark and the refs, because it's about to change everything you thought you knew about the game. First up, let's talk about Clark's side of the story. She's not out there trying to disrespect anyone, folks. In her own words, she said, "I think I could have done a little bit better job keeping my emotions in check, but at the same time, Really? Can you feel that frustration? It's like she's caught between a rock and a hard place, trying to balance her passion with the league's rules. And get this, some of these technicals aren't even about the game itself. Clark admitted, "I got a technical for basically being mad at myself. Had nothing to do with my team, had nothing to do with their reffing, had nothing to do with the other team." That's wild, right? Imagine getting penalized just for being your own harshest critic. But here's where it gets tricky. On the other side, you've got the refs. They're not out there trying to ruin anyone's day. Their job, keep the game fair for everyone. Star player or bench warmer, rules are rules. But when you've got a phenom like Clark changing the game, where do you draw the line? And it's not just the refs feeling the pressure. Coach Sides is right in the middle of this storm too. She's trying to guide her star rookie through these choppy waters, saying, "We can't let that affect us so much."
These guys spent, time off the basketball court, quality time, just spending time with each other, getting to know each other, kind of just letting their hair down a little bit and having a good time. And so she's just so dynamic. When you're not used to playing with someone like her, it's different.
Every time we've matched up, it's just like they have strong physical guards. I think they've just played really good defense, honestly.
The officials are the officials. It's like she's walking a tightrope, balancing Clark's fire with the need to keep cool under pressure. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Those offensive fouls. Clark's not shy about it. She's feeling the heat, saying, "The offensive fouls are definitely surprising at times. I feel like I do get held and get quite a bit of contact throughout the games. It's her rookie season, and she's already facing veteran-level challenges." So here's the million-dollar question. Is the WNBA being too strict, or does Clark need to adapt? It's not as simple as you might think. On one hand, you've got a league trying to maintain order and fairness. On the other, you've got a generational talent pushing the boundaries of the game. This isn't just about Clark anymore. It's about the future of the WNBA. How do you balance star power with fair play? How do you keep the game exciting without losing control? These are the questions that are shaking up the league right now. And trust me, the answers are going to change everything. You think Clark's situation is unique? Think again. Her technicals are exposing a league-wide issue that's been simmering for years. Who else is walking this tightrope? And what does it mean for the future of women's basketball? Clark's not alone in this technical foul drama. Diana Taurasi and Kalia Copper are right there with her, tied for second in the league with 6 technicals each. And guess who's leading the pack? Natasha Cloud, with 7 technicals already under her belt. She's even faced suspension this season. It's like a who's who of WNBA stars, all dancing on the edge of that suspension line. But here's where it gets really wild. Some people are throwing out crazy ideas to fix this. Joakim Noah, the NBA guy, he's got a wild suggestion. He says the Indiana Fever should get an enforcer to protect Clark. Can you imagine? It's like bringing in a bodyguard to a basketball game. But would that really solve anything or just create a whole new set of problems? Now, let's talk about what Clark's doing to the WNBA. Her passionate play style? It's like a magnet for new fans. People are tuning in just to see what she'll do next. But it's also raising some eyebrows. Is this the kind of sportsmanship we want to see in the league? It's a tough balance, right? You want that fire, that excitement, but you also need to keep things under control. And here's the kicker. This whole situation is forcing the WNBA to take a hard look at itself. How do you handle star players? Should they get special treatment? Or should the rules be the same for everyone? It's not just about Clark anymore. It's about the future of the entire league. Think about it. Every time Clark steps on the court, she's not just playing basketball. She's part of a bigger conversation about fairness, about passion, about what we want the WNBA to be. And trust me, that conversation is going to shape women's basketball for years to come. So next time you're watching a WNBA game, pay attention to how the players interact with the refs. Watch how the stars are treated compared to the rookies. Because what's happening right now, it's bigger than just one player or one team. It's about the soul of the league. So what's next for Clark and the WNBA? The Fever's playoff hopes are hanging by a thread, and Clark's walking a tightrope with these technicals. It's not just about her anymore, it's shaking up the whole league. With 2 games left, all eyes are on Clark. Can she keep her cool and avoid that suspension? Her coach, Christy Sides, is all about managing those emotions. She says, "We've just got to make sure we let outside things have no control over us." But here's the real kicker. Clark's situation is forcing the WNBA to take a hard look at how they handle player emotions and officiating. It's not just about one rookie anymore. It's about the future of women's basketball. Next time you watch a WNBA game, pay attention to how players and refs interact. Trust me, it's going to change everything you thought you knew about the game.